Tahine, you had a parent there, and he is trying to say that he's, insisting that he takes the child home so that when things are okay, he can bring the child back.
Kofi, let me ask whether this is an isolated case, or I mean, this is what you've noticed with the many parents that have come there this morning.
Yes, I think majority of them.
Earlier when we spoke to you, you did mention that authorities were tight-lipped. They didn't want to give too much information away. But as pertains to the cause of this fire, do we now know what probably was the trigger?
Well, the authorities of the school just came out of a meeting. I heard it's a board meeting. So the headmaster and some few people, including the teachers, are here. They are going around to make sure everything is in good condition, but they've not spoken to us yet. The headmaster insists that they finish with their rounds and their meetings before he speaks to us.
Again, the information we picked up earlier was that the regional minister was probably going to show up there. Has he, by any chance, showed up already?
Well, she called me myself because she told me she'll be coming here with a security personnel and to do some donations to those affected, and we're waiting on them. Very soon, I'm sure they will be here.
Finally, before you go, Kofi, let me ask whether or not teaching activities have now resumed once more at this school.
Hello?
Yes, Kofi, I'm asking whether or not teaching activities have now resumed after... Well,
on the part of the boys, they are in their classes, but for those affected, they are just roaming about, ensuring that they pick their belongings from their dormitory.
Right. Many thanks for that update. That was Eastern Regional Correspondent Edwin Kofi bringing us an update on that fire outbreak in the Ghana Senior High School in the Eastern region. We are told that that fire actually raised down the girls' dormitory of the school. We'll be bringing you much more on this in later bulletins. But away from that now, and the Inspector General of Police says, despite challenges with human resources and logistical constraints, the police service is ready to play its role to ensure successful elections in November. He made the remarks at the inauguration of a police station for Parliament this morning. My colleague Elton Brobe joins me live now from Parliament with a lot more. So, Elton, tell us much more about what the Inspector General of Police has been saying apart from this. Okay, so we seem to have lost Elton Brobe on the line there. We'll try and raise him back on when we have him, or bring that particular conversation to you. But again, it has to do with the election 2016 and the police expressing their readiness to ensure that indeed we bring you elections that are credible and free of violence. I believe we do not have him on the line now. So once we have Elton Brobe, our parliamentary correspondent, on the line, we'll bring that story to you. But let's now take a break here on News Today. When we come back, we'll bring you a lot more stories. Stay with us. Many thanks for staying here on News Today. Let's return to our earlier story where the Inspector General of Police says despite challenges with human resources and logistical constraints, the police service is ready to play its role to ensure successful elections in November. He's been making the remarks at the inauguration of a police station for Parliament this morning. My colleague Elton Brobe was there, and he's joining me now on phone with a lot more. So Elton, I was asking of what else the Inspector General of Police has been saying.
Well, first, what I want to do, according to the Inspector General of Police, is to deploy police personnel across the country to give semblance of a nation ready to confront any terror attack on its soil. And this coming Easter, what we'll be doing is to deploy more men to populated areas, because churches will be holding church activities. Easter Monday, usually people go out and have fun. They will be deploying more men to these areas to ensure the safety of Ghanaians before and after the Easter. But the bigger assignment for them is the November 7th, the possible November 7th general elections. And even though they may be facing challenges with logistics and human resources, they are ready to address the security of the nation, to ensure that the nation go through the election and come out of it in one piece. This particular facility, which is now serving as a police post or a divisional police headquarters, that is the name they've given it, used to be the reception area for the State House facility. It is just behind the banquet hall of the State House. But for now, it's been converted into a district police headquarters to serve members of parliament and the enclave of the State House. The Interior Minister and indeed the Speaker of Parliament and the leadership of Parliament all alluded to the fact that there is some kind of insecurity within the West African sub-region, and the possibility of a spillover of the terror attacks on Ghana remains very high. That's the more reason why government is beefing up security in major installations of Parliament, obviously falls within this category. That's how come they are doing this. They've warned that members of Parliament, the leadership, the Speaker will all go through the necessary security monitoring before you enter the premises, and there will be no exception to the rule.
Many thanks for that update, Parliamentary correspondent Elton Brobe, who just joined us from Parliament there with that very information. But away from that, and personnel are yet to be posted to serve at a new police station block built for residents of Ayimensa and adjoining communities. The building was completed over 6 months ago, and residents are still not too happy about the delay in the posting of police personnel. The Joint News' Latif Idris visited the community and reports residents are demanding the Abokobi District Command of the Ghana Police Service gets them the needed personnel.
Currently standing at the entrance of the Damfa Police Station. This station was completed last year, October, and I'm talking about 2015, last year. It is a complete police station. We want to tour the facility to show you, how the toll of these residents is, growing dust already. Now, this here is the holding cell, and I must say that whatever you see in here was part of the specification given by the police, authority to the residents. So they managed to put up this holding cell for suspects who are brought into this facility to be processed before they are taken to wherever is necessary. Now, if you look at this plastic chair, it is also growing dust. Now, we'll get in here and then get a better understanding of the situation. Now, the residents also managed to put up an armory, if you like. Now, this place, they say, is for the police officers to keep their weapons. It is also set. The furniture, as you can see, is growing dust. And we must also put on record that residents here came up with this idea to put up this facility because huge numbers of armed robbery cases that were recorded in this area, so it became necessary for them to get police personnel to be patrolling the area. They were not successful, so took it upon themselves to put up this facility in order to get personnel to come and man the place. It's been close to 6 months. We still do not have police officers to occupy the facility to protect lives and properties in this area.
Yeah, if you look at the population in the area, a huge population, and without any police posts, it creates a lot of problems. And the armed robbers, they have a field day. So having the police station here will really go a long way to help in the security situation in the area.
So how long have you been looking forward to police personnel to come in and start operating in this facility?
I think even now people have been coming and asking if, when are they starting? But definitely no answer. So if they come, people they look forward to having them here.
Are you also looking forward to them?
Definitely.
So now that they are not here, how does it feel that the facility is there, is now growing dust?
Yes, so I don't know how it can be done, but the power that be, they have to really work hard to get the place activated.
Oh, armed robbery situation in this area is getting out of hand now. Example, this shop, armed robbers came here last year, broke into this shop, took our monies, our step down. Even some of the drugs were taken away.
How does it feel? You have a police station just adjacent to your shop, yet we do not have police officers manning the place.
In fact, when we saw this thing, we were very happy, thinking we are safe. But now, we don't know what is going on. We've not heard from them. It's just there. We don't know when it's going to be open.
Now, the Agogo District Security Council is worried a March deadline given by the district's traditional council directing all cattle owners to vacate the locality could lead to clashes. The directive to cattle owners contradicts a court order to nomadic herdsmen by the Kumasi High Court. The court's March deadline applies to only the nomadic cattle herders who have clashed with farmers in 3 regions over grazing patches. But let's get more on this now from Insha FM's Ohimi Interior, who's joining me over the telephone lines with an update on the situation. So, Insha, Ohimi, tell us the issue arising as a result of this contradiction.
Yes, yesterday the Ashanti Regional Minister, Mr. John Alexander Akon, ordered a joint dissect meeting between the Afram Plains and the Agogo North District. Don't forget the Agogo district has seen or has gotten its fair share of the nomadic herdsmen activities. So the 2 districts share a common border. So yesterday there was this joint dissect meeting to deliberate on how to prevent a spillover of the herdsmen activities into neighboring Drobonso or Afram Plains district. And so it was at that meeting that we learned that indeed the traditional authorities at Agogo and the youth, for instance, have given a first March deadline to all cattle owners to evacuate their cattle from Agogo. And the dilemma of the dissect is that looking at the current situation where RESTEC, with the support of a joint military patrol team known as Operation Cowleg, is flashing nomadic herdsmen out of Agogo. So they don't know what to do. For instance, as the deadline of Malano comes into force, don't forget we are left with less than to the deadline. It's the first March deadline. So the fear is that there could be chaos as Malano implement or enforce this order. DISEC, as it stands now, says it will abide by the RESTEC decision to implement the Kumasi High Court decision that says the nomadic herdsmen should be driven away from communities that the court really mentioned. So for now, the contention between DISEC and the NANOM is whether to enforce the RESTEC regulation or to also enforce the NANOM deadline. So that is the dilemma. But this morning I had the opportunity to speak to the Ashanti Regional Minister, Mr. Alexander Akon, who says also understands the situation at hand, and he says that indeed is a dicey issue. So what RESTEC will do is to use dialogue to invite all the stakeholders involved. At this time, it will be a RESTEC meeting the youth of Agogo Youth Association, for instance, Nananom, and all the stakeholders involved to deliberate on this matter to find a lasting solution. So, that's the situation as we speak now.
Right. Many thanks for that update, Ohimi Interior. And Ohimi Interior is your sister station in Insha FM in Kumasi borders. A lot more updates on the Fulani situation in the Ashanti region. We're taking a break here on News Today. We'll return shortly with some business. Stay with us. Many thanks for staying here on News Today. To some more stories now. And last night's rains once again exposed how prone the capital city Accra is to another flooding, despite attempts by city authorities to prevent a recurrence of last year's disaster. Martha Krentlakwa went to Aveno late last night and reports that several residents were left stranded outside their homes after the rains. Why? They were waiting for their flooded apartments to dry up.
I'm still at Aveno, and I have hundreds of people who have come out from their rooms because their rooms are flooded. I have one of such victims with me here, and she's going to tell me why it is past 11 p.m. and she's still out here in the rains. And
oh, and I'm ready to say you were demo honor soon. Yes, and the epitome. By you say, I say, almost all double, and see a PA say a babyshaha. ampanso ye ba ye no me am fie wa ha ye abadru ye gate na no ye nim the reason why nti a ade no ye de ye ba ye na ye bisa ye no mo sin so na to free baby ana ye de aba na nti na ma aha no twa nto kese ba ye see free baby na ye de aba na ma gat na ye da ye ma
But they be asking you to say ana high.
Ba ye mba say omusad na ba 4 years.
The import of what she's saying is that they heard an alarm that the odor drain has overflowed these banks, and because of that, they came out to check. And when she came out, it was true. Personally, her room is not flooded, but the house is flooded, and that's why she's out here. So she's waiting because she cannot sleep to see what will happen next before she will go back to sleep. So I have another person here with me. So tell me, I didn't think I was outside.
Well, if I say, it's me quite them. Yeah, there is said, yeah, Madam Mama said, or make to go to you. They say, and it's only back, and to be
Locally, they are all saying the same thing, that every 4 years they experience this. During the Kufuor era, they didn't experience it because they were able to desilt the gutters, they were able to desilt the storm drains, so it was easy for them to put up for that 8 years. But it is happening all over again. And their plea is for city authorities or whoever is concerned to come and desilt the storm drains so that when it rains, the water can flow and takes its due course so that it will not overflow their homes.
Now, former head of Ghana's Human Rights Commission, Justice Emmanuel Short, has labeled as exaggerated claims by the Deputy Attorney General that the International Criminal Court may be biased against Africa. The Deputy AG, Dominic Haine, speaking at the first International Forum on the ICC at Gimpo here in Accra, in the presence of the ICC Chief Prosecutor, highlighted the perception that the court simply targets African leaders, despite having received almost 9,000 complaints about alleged crimes in at least 139 countries. The ICC has indicted 36 black Africans in 8 countries. Speaking to Joy News, however, former head of SHA, Justice Emmanuel Short, says the claims of bias are not properly grounded.
It's highly exaggerated because most of the cases that are before the ICC, the African cases, were referred by the African countries themselves. So how can they turn around now and say that African countries or leaders are being targeted? And also, it's important to remember that when crimes are committed in member states, the member states have the primary responsibility to investigate and prosecute these cases. It is only when the member states are unable or unwillingly, genuinely to investigate and to prosecute this case that the ICC can step in.
Now, the Judicial Council has sacked 19 judicial service workers, including court registrars and interpreters, found to have been complicit in the judicial corruption scandal. The affected staff are said to have taken bribes of various sums to help influence the outcomes of cases at the courts. This was contained in a statement signed by the Judicial Secretary, Justice Alex Opokwe-Champon. According to the statement, the decision to sack the judicial service staff was informed by recommendations by disciplinary committees constituted by the Chief Justice Georgina Wood to investigate the conduct of staff cited in the Anas Harimea Anas Tiger Eye petition. The statement released Thursday by the Judicial Council said a total of 10 court registrars and messengers in courts across the country, that's Offenso in Cape Coast and Bibiani, were dismissed. Also, 19 staff were removed from office for holding ex-party discussions with representatives of Tiger IPI and facilitating meetings between the said representatives and the judges. The statement named the Circuit Court Registrar, the Ateshunungwa, the District Court Registrar at Kaswa, the Principal Interpreter at Medina, and 6 others as those removed from office. 5 others were also reprimanded for accepting thank you gifts, while three people have been exonerated and restored. Time now for some business here on News Today. And now time to do some business. And the Minerals Commission has begun a process to enhance the image of small-scale mining for the benefit of the economy. The participatory reform program is to ensure a paradigm shift in small-scale mining as a venture driven by poverty to a business-oriented one. The program will engage all sector players under the auspices of UK-based International for Environment and Development ASM Dialogue Program. Speaking to Joy Business, the Chief Executive of the Minerals Commission, Dr. Tony Obin, said the initiative should ultimately create more jobs and wealth in the country.
The shift was for artisanal and small-scale mining to shift from being an activity that creates environmental problems, an activity that is done in an unsecure and insecure way, activity that really makes women always get the worst out of it, an activity that sort of see illegality more than the application of best practices. So we think that that is possible. We think we should be able to shift the way small-scale or artisanal mining is done, the way we think about artisanal small-scale mining from a negative point to a more positive point. We must not make artisanal mining only an life-aching activity, only a poverty-driven activity. We must make artisanal and small-scale mining an income-generating activity, a wealth creation activity, a mine, that people who work there are mine workers and not just galamsey people. People must see themselves as mine workers who get ready to go to their mines, except that their mines are not like Goldfields or Anglo-Gold Ashanti. They are small mines. So we need to do that. We need to ensure that we move from a situation where people go and they are not sure whether they are coming back the following day because their grounds will cave in because they don't have the safety standard. They should be able to work well guided by safety standards and regulation. So this basically why this learning and leadership group, sort of thought we would provide that leadership for this to happen.
And the Plastic Waste Management Program of Ghana is seeking a portion of the special tax on plastic imports to establish PET bottle recycling plant in the country. Government has currently accrued 44 million Ghana cedis from the 10% environmental tax on plastic imports. Chairman of the program, Ebo Botwe, says it has begun consultations with the government. He spoke to Joy Business at the launch of the second phase of Voltic's PET recycling program.
Voltic, the largest producer of bottled water in Ghana, is to fix 20 PET waste collection containers at various public and private locations under the second phase of the program. This is in partnership with the Ministry of Local Government and Plastic Waste Management Program. The initiative was started by Voltic to address post-consumer waste challenges faced in Accra. The General Manager, Philip Redman, spoke to Joy Business at the launch of the second phase of the PET recycling program.
Phase 2 is about opening up from Phase 1. So Phase 1 was about getting households to bring bottles to one location, segregate their plastic waste at home, bring that to one location every Saturday for no value, just because they wanted to help recycle. They want to help the system, And we were overwhelmed by how many people wanted to do that. And a lot of those people asked us, can we make this easier for them? So really the point of this phase is to open this up to the next level. So we're going to be putting 20 of these bins around the town. And the aim is therefore to be able to get more households to be able to segregate their waste at home and bring it in. And by doing so, we can demonstrate the ability to collect significant volumes of the plastic bottles.
Chairman of the Waste Management Program, Ebo Botwe, who endorsed the initiative, shared with Joy Business moves being taken by his outfit to help manage waste in the country.
From Plastic Waste Management Program Ghana, we already initiated this. We're setting up a processing plant with Accra Metropolitan Assembly. We're also pursuing government. We had 20%, 10% special tax on plastics imports. We know that currently the money accrued is about 44 million Ghana cedis. So we are in consultation with government to see if we can assess part of this money to be able to set up PET recycling plants across all the districts in Ghana. Not only PET, but then the flexibles as well.
The containers will be placed at shopping malls, gyms, and selected gated communities throughout the Accra metropolis.
So that will be it for business. My name is John Kojo Amuako. But don't forget, you can join me at exactly 1 o'clock on the marketplace for more business. Bye-bye.
Thank you so much for your time. My name is Gladys Osei already. Let me tell you what's happening. So tonight, the Ghana DJ Awards is taking place at the International Conference Center. And the guest DJ act coming on board, DJ Jimmy Jacks from Nigeria, says that he's all ready and patrons should look forward to a thrilling night.
A great time, a good time. I mean, you go to an event, there's one DJ and the place is, hot and crazy. People are having so much fun with just one DJ. And then you're having loads of DJ under one roof. That's multiple, ecstasy, if you know what I mean. So yeah. It's going to be great. It's going to be wonderful.
I heard you telling Mercury that you're going to perform a track tomorrow.
No, we're just joking. We're just vibing.
You feel fire. You feel fire.
But I'm going to be playing a whole lot of songs. Okay. Because I'm a DJ that makes records as well. I have well over 60 tracks on, that I've made. I've recorded with well over, hundreds of artists. So I do that on a regular.
Okay. So get ready. Tonight it is happening at exactly 8 p.m. at the International Conference Center. If you do not have your ticket yet, you can always pass by the front desk of Joy FM and get yourself a copy of the ticket so you can be part of tonight's DJ Awards. Who picks the best DJ in town in Ghana? Let's find out that tonight. Also, in the news, Sonny Badu has apologized to fellow musician Yao Siki for the offering to help him in public. According to Sonny Badu, he only put out an act of togetherness and, of course, brotherly love. He only wanted to show his concern and support him because when he saw the story aired on My Jaw Online and, of course, on online, he thought that it wasn't fair for a young person embarking on a crusade for Christ to be feeding on favors people showed him in the course of preaching on commercial basis. But Yao Siki also turned down the offer, saying that the Bible does not encourage people to give out and let the whole world know. For once they do that, they would have received their blessing in full from the world and not of God. On that premise, Yao Siki turned down the Sonny Badu's offer. And Sonny Badu says he did not intend to embarrass the young man, but purely wanted to show him love and offer his assistance. Let's talk about the music duo P-Square, who it's alleged they are going their separate ways. So we have DJ Jimmy Jacks, who actually played a role in the record label of the music duo, and he says, well, it won't be good news if they should go ahead to be split, but in the meantime, let's hope it doesn't even get there.
That's not confirmed yet. It's speculation. We're still trying. They have not officially announced that, and I don't think. I hope we don't get to that point. At this point, it's still a speculation. Like I said.
It will be challenging, but of course so exciting, tough, but satisfying. The trip to the highest point in Ghana is in full swing as part of the multimedia group's activities to mark Ghana Month, a month set aside to celebrate Ghana's rich cultural heritage and cultural attractions. Located in the Agomacha range on the border with Togo, Mount Afaja is almost a kilometer high. Organizers of the climb are promising a great moment for patrons. Executive of the entertainment hub at Multimedia, Kofi Ansah, says that all you need to do is get front desk of Joy FM and get your ticket, 80 Ghana cedis, to give you the transportation and the climbing. But of course, if you want some refreshment, the package is very interesting. Food, entertainment, a whole lot in there. Just pay 150 cedis and be on the trip, and you will not regret. It also has its health benefits, so guess what? You don't want to miss out on this one. Join multimedia group, the personalities, everybody coming on board, the Ministry of Tourism, the Minister herself and her entourage, all coming on board to make this trip memorable. Don't miss out on that. Thank you so much. My name is Gladys Osei Oredu.
And that's how we wrap up on News Today here on your Joy News channel on Multi TV. Remember, there's a lot more when you visit www.myjoyonline.com. My name is Kwabena Chenchen Heneboati. Many thanks for your company. Have a great weekend.